So what about lies in politics? Hannah Arendt's perspective is fascinating. She says that lies are essential in politics and puts it this way, and I quote, "The liar is an actor by nature. He says what is not so because he wants things to be different from what they are. That is, he wants to change the world." End quote. Later she says, and I quote, "A characteristic of human action is that it always begins something new. We remove ourselves from where we physically are located and imagine that things might as well be different from what they actually are. In other words, the deliberate denial of factual truth, the ability to lie, and the capacity to change facts, the ability to act, are interconnected. They owe their existence to the same source, imagination." End quote. So basically, while, and I quote, "the mere telling of facts leads to no action whatever," end quote, a lie is politically useful because it seeks to create change by manipulating opinion, which is essentially the work of politics. As a result then, the liar is always at an advantage to the truth teller, because the liar is, as Arendt puts it, and I quote, "free to fashion his facts to fit the profit and pleasure, or even the mere expectations of his audience," end quote. Arendt concludes that he will be more persuasive than the truth teller. One other significant observation from the second half of my volume of On Lying in Politics is the possibility of self-deception in the political liar. Arendt notes that the political and media messaging during the Vietnam War era managed only to convince the liars themselves of the official propaganda line regarding the rationale for the war. In the end, it seemed to Arendt that only the liars believed the story. She highlights the psychology of self-deception by saying that those who attempt to change reality, and I quote, "will be tempted to fit their reality, which after all was man-made to begin with, and thus could have been otherwise, into their theory," end quote. She says, "The self-deceived deceiver loses all contact with not only his audience, but also the real world," end quote. In the quagmire of organized lying, the deceiver loses grasp of the contingency to reality that once separated their opinion from it. They forget that their opinion, designed to change the world, was still contingent on reality catching up. The self-deceiver then, as Arendt puts it, disappears in an entirely defactualized world.